A few minutes ago, a man that I don't know appeared on my property. He turned to me and he said, "Oh, finally I found you. I've been looking for you."
Still follow me, but you gotta remain calm and don't run.
We're 100 meters from camp. Whoa! Oh boy. Whoa! Go!
There's a moment every hiker dreads. That slow, creeping realization that the sounds behind you aren't the same as usual, and they aren't random. Sometimes it's footsteps that stop when you stop. Sometimes it's a shadow that never quite disappears. And sometimes it's the chilling truth that you've been walking alone for far less time than you thought. Because once you step far enough from the trailhead, help is distant, and you never really know who might be tracking your every move. Tonight, we look at the 6 most disturbing times hikers realized they were being followed. Real encounters where a peaceful trek turned into a fight to stay calm, stay moving, and make it out alive. On November 13th, 2024, Eva Zubck uploaded a video that left viewers deeply unsettled. What began as a quiet night alone in the mountains slowly took a disturbing turn, forcing her to confront a reality she never expected. As she speaks about what happened, it becomes clear that something is deeply wrong, and by the end, staying no longer feels like an option. Alone on her private land, far from help or easy access to safety, the isolation feels heavier than ever. A place that once felt peaceful now feels unpredictable as darkness closes in. Recent events have shattered her sense of security, leaving her to question not only the night ahead, but how safe this way of life truly is.
A few minutes ago, a man that I don't know appeared on my property. And he turned to me and he said, "Oh, finally I found you. I've been looking for you." This is a man that I don't know, that I didn't invite here, that I didn't want here, who came here all on his own to my private property in the mountains, where there is no obvious path that leads here. He made his way up the hills and through the freaking forest to find me, uninvited. To find a woman who's camping on her own, on her private property. To find her and do what exactly? I was shocked. I was shocked and immediately felt so vulnerable and so scared. I immediately told him that this is my private property and that I'm not looking for guests. I took my axe and I went inside my tent with Vjok. This is not the first time that something like this has happened.
At this point in the video, the tension shifts from fear to action. After talking things through, the weight of the unknown finally sets in, and staying no longer feels like a safe option. The decision isn't sudden or dramatic, it's heavy, reluctant, and guided by instinct. Eva explains that previous encounters with obsessive strangers have already left her on edge, constantly aware of her vulnerability. When an unknown man appeared uninvited on her remote private land earlier that day, it completely shattered her sense of security. As night closes in, she wrestles with the choice to stay, admitting she doesn't want to give in to fear, but also knowing she can't afford to ignore the risk.
I say take Book and head down to your car. I drive over to your friends' just park for the night or somewhere else. Go back in the morning to clean up stuff.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
It's especially earlier than later. It's not fun. It's convenience. But like if we're just trying to play risk management with a situation where you have a bunch of unknowns, you don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
He says he's visiting. It could be another weirdo that's coming to look for stuff. So like we just don't know.
Yeah.
Comes up with beers.
Yeah.
So he starts drinking and thinks, I'll go back.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really know what to do, but my friend's telling me to go down to the car and spend the night in the car. Vjok is looking pretty alert. Normally he's already sleeping at this point. People drink, people get stupid ideas in their heads. It's so dark, I don't want to go through the forest in the dark.
Later that night, she decided to leave the tent and sleep in her car, even though the surrounding forest is known to have wolves. Despite that, the car feels like a safer, more controlled option. The following day, she returned only to pack up her camp, ultimately choosing to leave the area entirely rather than remain in a constant state of fear. On October 21st, 2023, a visibly distressed hiking woman uploaded footage of herself to Reddit. In the video, she is seen speaking with a man seated in a vehicle, who calmly explains that she has been stalked by someone high up in the mountains. According to him, the unknown man had been watching her for hours through binoculars. As the conversation continues, however, the situation grows increasingly unsettling.
Hey.
Hi.
So, you have a guy on the mountain up there that is watching you with binoculars.
Okay, well, that's unnerving. Well, I guess I won't be staying.
Well, it's not that you can't stay. Just, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other side of the mountain is safer.
Really?
Yes. He's driving a older Dodge pickup. And he told me he comes out here and offers water to people. But I would stay away from him.
So did you catch him watching me, or did he just tell you that he was watching me?
When I pulled up, he had his field glasses up, looking this direction, and I was like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody that needs water.
Stay because it's nice out here and it's quiet, but if there's somebody watching me, then obviously I don't think I should stay out here at all.
Well, that's fine. That's your choice too.
Yeah. Well, at least I got to put my laundry away. It's always easier to do housekeeping out in the open rather than in the city somewhere. So just finishing up my laundry and then I'll probably have to leave, but that's okay. Do you need anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
People reacted overwhelmingly alarmed and distrustful of the man in the video. Many viewers said the line, "Come here and I'll show you," immediately set off red flags, interpreting it as an attempt to lure her closer rather than help. A large number of commenters fixated on the long silence at the end, describing it as the moment where he appeared to be weighing his options or deciding whether to act. Others pointed out his body language, staring, fidgeting, rubbing the steering wheel, as classic predatory behavior rather than awkwardness. Several commenters with backgrounds in psychology or personal experience said his story felt improvised and inconsistent. Many people believed that the woman was extremely lucky to leave unharmed, with many believing the man himself was the real danger. On March 23, 2024, a Reddit user shared disturbing footage of herself being followed during what was supposed to be a normal daytime hike. The situation took a chilling turn when a stranger suddenly approached her on the trail, making her realize that he had been following her the entire time.
What are you doing in the park alone?
I mean, that's quite a personal question, but okay.
Just asking.
I'm just on my way to my car.
Can I walk you down?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm very capable of walking myself, don't worry. Thanks for the offer, though.
Don't need to be scared. Darling, I'm just trying to get drunk.
Well, that's very nice. Obviously, there's not a lot left, but I don't know if now's the right time, to be honest.
This is the perfect time.
Oh...
Let me walk you down.
I mean, it looks like you already are, and I don't really have a choice in the matter, which is quite alarming.
Why is it alarming?
Because I don't know you, and you're practically following
we can
me.
get to know me, can't you?
Why would I want to do that?
We can be friends.
Can we?
Well, you want to be friends?
I've got quite a lot of friends, to be honest.
We can make another one.
Well, why would I want to do that?
Why wouldn't you want to do that? That's why is it?
Well, oh my god, please don't touch me.
Give me a hug.
Oh my god, no, sorry. What on earth?
I'm not going to bite.
A hug?
Many viewers reacted strongly to the footage, sharing their concerns in the comments. Most agreed that the man's behavior was deeply unsettling and that he likely had far darker intentions than he let on. Viewers also pointed out how the woman began to speed up, deliberately putting distance between herself and the man, clear signs that she was becoming increasingly nervous and uncomfortable. On November 8, 2023, a hiker recorded footage during a routine hike in Sierra Madre, California that quickly turned into a frightening experience. She soon realized that she wasn't being followed by just one predatory bear, but multiple bears moving through the area. What began as an ordinary hike suddenly became a tense and dangerous situation as she became aware she was being watched the entire time.
There's nowhere to go.
Because the mother bear was traveling with her cubs, the situation became especially dangerous. Mother bears are extremely protective of their young, and even a perceived threat can provoke an aggressive response, which put the hiker in serious danger. On August 3rd, 2015, YouTuber John Blatt documented a moment during a solo hike when an overwhelming sense of unease suddenly took over. Although he had planned to stay another night, his intuition began urging him to leave immediately, an instinct he says he has learned never to ignore. The feeling wasn't panic, but something deeper and harder to explain, as if danger was quietly closing in. Clearly affected by the situation, he didn't know what to do next, knowing his life might depend on it.
I was planning on spending another night here, but I've had an overwhelming sense of something that I can't really explain. My intuition tells me that I need to leave, and the sense I get is that as I have been walking through down the path the last couple hours, I was completely ready to be here another night, which is very disappointing. But I follow my intuition. Anytime I don't, I really regret it. And I honestly, I never felt this before.
As he continued down the trail, John described sensing that he was being watched. Strange, unfamiliar sounds echoed through the forest, nothing he had heard during the many hours he'd already spent there. The realization that something might be observing him from the shadows made the isolation feel suddenly threatening. Was he truly alone out there?
I never felt this before. Now, I've heard unusual sounds. Just sounds that I haven't heard over the past 30 hours since I've been here. Like I'm definitely being observed. Whoa. Set this down here for a second. By myself. And baby steps, Take baby steps. That's how I look at it. Oh man. I heard something that sounded like it came from the mine.
Trying to steady himself, John reflected on how unfamiliar it felt to be this far into the wilderness alone. He spoke calmly, but the tension was clear, as another unexplained sound seemed to come from nearby. Each step forward felt heavier than the last. Was whatever he sensed getting closer?
Bear with me. I don't know if anybody will ever watch this video. Whoa. Look at that guy. Look at that dude. Oh well. I had just walked down through here not an hour ago, probably. All right. Let's do it. It'd be great if the cops are still up here. I doubt it, though.
Toward the end of the video, John looks back on what just happened and admits how unusual the feeling was for him. He says it's one of the few times in the wilderness where something truly felt off, enough to make him listen to his instincts without question. He keeps coming back to the same takeaway. When your intuition tells you something isn't right, you don't ignore it. The unsettling part is not knowing what caused that warning in the first place. On December 11th, 2006, YouTuber Joel realized he was being stalked during a hike by one of the forest's most dangerous and common predators, a bear. His instincts quickly kicked in, and he did his best to keep his distance, using a stick to deter the animal and maintain space between them. But the real question remained. Would that be enough to keep him alive?
All right, this is me being stalked by a bear. Can't say I'm very excited. Whoa! I'm about 400 meters from camp. Whoa! Get! Oh boy. Whoa! Go! Go away! Go! Whoa! Whoa! Get! Ah! Go! Get!
Many viewers identified the bear's behavior as clearly predatory, noting how it attempted different approach angles while slowly tracking the hiker, its head moving back and forth as if assessing him. If Joel had stumbled or fallen, the encounter could have ended tragically. Running is dangerous in these situations, and placing trees between yourself and the bear is critical. Some explain that, like sharks, bears may stalk, test, and attempt exploratory attacks to gauge a potential victim's defenses. Most agreed the hiker did many things right and was extremely lucky to escape unharmed. In May 2025, a male hiker in Banff National Park, Canada, found himself being followed by a grizzly bear. The bear walked directly toward him as he stood ready with pepper spray in hand.
Still follow me, but you gotta remain calm and don't run. Have the pepper spray at the ready.
Unfortunately, the video cuts off at that point, so we may never know what happened next. One thing is certain though, if he had tried to run, he wouldn't have gotten away. If a bear is acting predatory, escape is unlikely. Bears have better balance than humans off trail, and brown bears have been recorded running at speeds of 30 to 40 miles per hour, making outrunning one impossible. Attempting to flee can also trigger a predator response, as running makes you appear like prey. In this case, the bear doesn't seem aggressive and was likely just using the trail. On December 29th, 2022, YouTuber The Men's Life documented a tense solo return to a remote forest location. This was the same area that had already unsettled him during a previous nighttime exploration. Determined to get clearer answers in daylight, he ventured back alone, unaware that the situation would quickly become even more disturbing.
Came here with Blake, and we found a cabin literally down there. I think it's a hunting cabin. Don't know whose it is, what it's truly used for, but since I'm back in the Halifax region, I'm not actually in Halifax now, but we got back last night. I decided to come back out and try and get a better look in the daytime. I just find it so mysterious. Did you hear that? I swear to God, I just heard something already. Some of you guys might remember that we went to a certain point, heard some whistling and some people, so we turned back. But I kind of got intrigued and I wanted to see maybe if there's another cabin down here or if there's anything else that we missed.
Early in the video, he explains that he has come back to the area during daylight to further investigate a mysterious cabin he and a friend had discovered earlier. Despite the improved visibility, he immediately feels uneasy, mentioning strange noises in the woods and recalling how unsettling the location felt after dark.
I did do some research on it, and this was apparently a place where a lot of people came and just dumped a bunch of random crap. So that could explain why we found a bunch of things. Okay. So the cabin is literally right there. So there's the cabin that I was talking about. If you guys missed our main channel video, I will link it down below. But we straight up stumbled across this at nighttime. Makes me a little bit nervous because I really don't know whose it is or who has rights to it. I'm literally so confused of why this is still there. What the hell? This is straight up in the window. Okay. What is that sound? Listen. That's a bird. But I keep hearing like movement. Holy smokes.
Later, as he navigates deeper into the area, he mentions hearing loud banging noises in the distance. Although he suspects the sounds may be coming from an industrial site nearby, the isolation of the forest keeps him on edge.
Here for a reason. What the what's that? I was in the middle of a cinematic. What the hell was that? That came from in the forest. Something doesn't feel right. Something feels really off. Okay. I think I gotta get out of here. I think there's one individual here somewhere. I don't get the sense that there's many, but I get the sense that there's like at least one. I don't see anybody. Oh, oh, oh.
He suddenly realizes someone has noticed him. He hears movement along the path behind him and believes at least one individual is nearby. Visibly shaken, he prepares to flee, convinced that he is no longer alone. The video ends with him urgently retreating from the forest, warning viewers not to attempt similar explorations and emphasizing how quickly curiosity can turn into a dangerous situation. Around 2 years ago, on February 29th, 2024, a Reddit user shared a post describing a strange story from his uncle. who claimed he had been stalked by an unknown creature sometime in the early 2000s. Neither the poster nor his uncle could explain what it was or what had been following him. On August 6, 2025, YouTuber Kevin from Small Plots set out for what was supposed to be a spontaneous night of stealth camping on the edge of a city's industrial zone. Almost immediately, the atmosphere felt off, people lingering where they shouldn't be, figures repeatedly moving in and out of the woods, and the unsettling feeling of being watched. As Kevin tried to quietly set up camp, the behavior around him only grew stranger, forcing him to constantly adjust, hide, and second-guess his surroundings. What started as a casual urban camping trip slowly turned into a tense night, defined by uncertainty and unseen eyes. But the most disturbing moment came when Kevin realized he wasn't as hidden as he thought.
Days like this, it might behoove one to want to go camping. Sometimes you gotta go, in the spur of the moment, and that's just what I did today. I'm getting into kind of like a sketchy industrial area here. I don't know if you're seeing any of that. It's just typical sketchy industrial area, nothing special. But there's a nice bit of woods. Not this. This isn't nice. We're not camping there. Too much poison ivy.
Somebody's coming back. I'm looking at somebody right now. Look at me. Somebody's looking at me right now. Yeah, they're looking right at me. Their dog barked. I can't see him on the camera, but I can see him with my eyes. We're looking at each other. Yeah. Somebody, they barked. Walked over there. I guess they have a dog. And we definitely saw each other. At least I saw him. I assume he saw me.
Okay, I think I'm good. Whoever saw me probably just, wanted to steer clear of the guy in the woods. But we saw each other. I saw his silhouette looking at me. I'm sure he saw mine looking at him. I'm kind of in the only somewhat illuminated area in this little bit of forest.
In another widely known encounter, an extremely aggressive cougar stalked and followed a hiker for the entire trip without him even realizing it at first. The tension only escalated once he became aware of what was happening. But the question remains, did he manage to escape?
You! No! Get the away! Get the away! Dude, you're scary. You're a scary kitty cat. Holy. No, go away! Go away! No! No! You, dude! Holy...
Viewers noted how both the hiker and the cougar appeared locked in a tense standoff, each trying to intimidate the other into backing down. Some praised the man for staying calm and facing the predator instead of panicking, calling it an impressive display of nerve under extreme pressure. Others, including wildlife experts and experienced viewers, pointed out critical mistakes, especially continuing forward after noticing cubs, arguing that while he survived, the encounter could have ended very differently. On October 16th, 2024, a hiker set out to enjoy a peaceful day immersed in nature. The trail was quiet, and everything seemed calm, until, without warning, her ordinary hike took a terrifying turn. Something unexpected happened that left her frozen with fear and painfully aware that she was no longer alone.
We're off.
After enjoying the beauty of nature for a while, night began to fall, and the atmosphere slowly changed. She started hearing strange, distant noises, sounds unlike anything she had ever heard before. Even as a seasoned nature enthusiast, the unfamiliar echoes unsettled her, sending a chill down her spine.
What's that? Oh my God.
Around a year ago, a hiker reported setting out on what was supposed to be a routine hike through his local forest. At some point along the trail, he became aware of an unsettling sensation, that something was watching him. What followed was so terrifying he could hardly believe it. He realized he had been followed the entire time.
Nice bear.
In March 2021, a woman hiking through Vancouver recorded a deeply disturbing encounter in which a man aggressively followed her through public streets and trails. In the footage, she can be heard growing increasingly alarmed as the man continues trailing her despite clear attempts to escape and seek safety near other people. What unsettled viewers most was how brazen the behavior was. He didn't even try to hide it, lingering nearby even when she confronted the situation openly.
Hey, do you mind if I sit with you guys? This guy's literally been following me in circles.
Yeah, that's cool.
For like 4 minutes, and I've been recording it.
Yeah,
and he's
that's cool.
literally just standing behind me, and I don't know his issue.
Yeah, that's cool. Why don't you just pull up and sit?
Cool. I'm Kalia. Jamie, nice to meet you.
Many viewers described their hearts racing while watching, calling the man's behavior predatory and comparing it to a hunter refusing to back down once noticed. Others praised the woman's bravery for continuing to record and seeking help from groups of strangers, while expressing frustration that such behavior often isn't taken seriously until it escalates. Even more disturbing, multiple women later came forward saying this wasn't the first time the same man had followed someone, turning the video from a single incident into a chilling pattern.